No. I do not play the trumpet in real life.
I couldn't believe it. Ralph said he was going to do it, but I just didn't believe him. You're Charlie Davis's boy. Oliver, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
This particular role came up and I went out there with just hordes of boys, hordes, I might say, and got to read, actually, it was a big thrill. I got to read the part of Hoodoo, actually, in the interview process. And they almost kicked me out because I had a mouthful of braces. And somebody, I think it was Jerome Cortland, said, well, don't children have braces? And they said, well, yeah. And I think actually I might have been the first in the Disney movies.
All Eggy wanted to do was to carry the flag, and he got that opportunity in Follow Me Boys. A special thrill to be able to sit in the car next to Fred McMurray and Vera Miles. And I seem to recall sitting up on the back of the convertible, and I was holding the flag, and the fellow driving the car jumped the gun, and I almost fell off the car. And actually, Fred McMurray reached back to grab me, and I didn't fall off the car, but it was a moment that was I clearly remember.
I'm coming after you. Just don't panic. Hurry up, Whitey. I'm coming, Ronnie. I'm coming.
It was a very hard scene because you had a lot of film angles. If you look at the sequence, you've got shots facing the cliff. You've got shots looking away from the cliff. You've got the sequence where you're trying to get the feet onto the cliff. And so you now have to time the sequence with my feet and Kurt's feet trying to land back on the cliff, with the crane releasing the tension at the right point in time for him to get a purchase and to get down. I actually have been amazed at how Kurt was able to do it. You know, I was on the rope part of the time along with him, but he was on the rope the entire time. So his entire day was up on a rope, you know, hanging in the hot sun in the middle of the outskirts of Los Angeles. We had this pair of short pants, and the pair of short pants had these giant metal plates on the side for hip bones with a little metal piece coming out of the side. And what happened was that they then wired that to the rope that we were swinging on. So we were actually wired into the rope for safety reasons. When I was brought in to be fitted for the metal plates, my understanding was that those were the same gear that was used for Mary Poppins. Okay, so I was wearing the equipment that was used in the Mary Poppins filming to shoot the sequences in the I Love to Laugh sequence at the bank, where everybody's swinging around through the chandeliers, etc. So there was that sense of history.
Hey, you guys, there's a car coming.
I remember they put bags of like talc and dragged them underneath there to make it look like it was a real dusty road, and it really wasn't. I liked the grips, the lights. I was interested in all that sort of stuff. That was more, as a kid, you learned all, oh, this is interesting. One thing was that, you know, the Golden Oak, they have that sort of lake in there. And you know the bridge? A lot of us used to go fishing off that thing. They would bus us out from Disney out to the ranch. And then, you know, we'd do our stuff, and then kids would go out to that bridge, and we would like try to fish for the fish that were planted in there, you know, on off time. So it was like a vacation. It was.
You stay out of this, Four Eyes. This isn't your business.
Hey, no one's called Four Eyes around here.
The first role that I actually read for was for Frankie, which is the tall boy, you know, that's really one of the leaders of the group. Frankie is actually the one that fights with Kurt Russell in the movie.
Whenever I went on a casting call for a Walt Disney picture, it seems like there was scores of kids out there, and they always had a definitive idea as to what each character should look like, and then when they would take that character and then they'd put them in wardrobe and take pictures, and it was, you know, that's what Walt Disney was all about. Was very exacting in terms of how they brought things to the screen.
Norman Tokar was the director. He did a lot of the Leave It to Beavers and different episodes. like that, and he was very, very relaxed. We had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So, and the folks, the adults that we worked with were great. I remember vividly Vera Miles. She just made a real impression on me. The quintessential mom. Oh, you know, she was wonderful. And Lillian Gish was very, very nice, and Fred McMurray was just terrific. So it was. We had a good time. I had the honor of meeting Walt Disney in the commissary. And even as a kid in 7th grade, I was just like, I was stunned. And he was very nice. He was very open to meeting me, and I was just a little nobody, you know. He was very nice. And so I consider that one of my great honors to actually have met Walt Disney.
As I remember, Walt Disney did come on the set, and, you know, he's the main man there. And a lot of people, you know, introduce themselves or stuff, but at the time, you know, as a child, I didn't do that. I enjoyed acting as a child immensely. It's something that at the time you didn't think about it, because you just thought it was every day because you're in it.
We had, without a doubt, we had the most fun part of the movie because we got caught in the war games. One of the fun things was running through the field with the flower pots, as if they were dropping bombs on us. When actually, of course, it was actually flower pots, but the flower pots would flash up, and so we just, you know, we were kids, you know, 12, 13 years old, so we got covered with flour, and that was very fun.
Guys, there's a message coming through.
A message? What's it saying? Hurry, yeah, what does it say?
I don't know. All of you know Morse code. What's it saying?
Actually, I didn't know Morse code. When we were in the bunker, of course, there was a Morse code, and then there was the demolition buttons, and then somebody got a hold of the machine gun. So this thing was loud. This thing was really loud. After the take, we got to grab that thing and shoot it. You know, it's like, you know, oh man, that was something for us, for boys. You know, that was a big deal. So.
Why? What is it?
It's Lynn Sidney's day.
I just can't believe it.
We showed up on set that day, and I thought it was at the wrong place because there were so many people. You know, you read the script in it, and it discusses it and it articulates exactly what's going to happen, of course, but to actually visualize so many people taking place in this parade at one time, it was a lot of fun that day.
Kurt became a very successful actor later on, as we all know. And Kurt was basically very successful in a series of Disney films. It was the early stages of his career, so it was really one of the films that established, you know, him, his presence, his capabilities, etc.
I know, Whitey. I'm sorry, I was wrong.
All right, you were wrong, I'm wrong, he's wrong, everybody's wrong.
Easy, Whitey, easy.
I think if you look at his performance and also his way of working with people in the course of this film, he was easy to work with, which I think was incredibly important to both Disney and to the success of future films, that you have someone that not only is a good actor, but is really comfortable around the other people on the set.
One of my many memories of Fred McMurray was his graciousness, his class and style, and which knew no bounds. He treated everyone with dignity and decency, and I feel that he was certainly very thoughtful and genuine. I think that what you see in the movie is a mirror reflection of who Fred McMurray really is as a person.
Fred McMurray was terrific. Everything that I had seen him into, he seemed to really live up to those roles. Always had the right thing to say. He was always very caring and cared about people, and always very gentle and good to folks on the set.
2, 3, 4, eyes right. Go! 2, 3, 4.
Seeing the film as an adult is totally different. I've got 2 boys, and they're now men, and seeing Fred McMurray reach out to those kids at that age and pull them in, oh, I mean, it's just so much more poignant now. When he finds out that they can't have children and he looks out the window.
We've already got 15 boys.
Yeah,
It's a pretty good start when you come to think of it.
The whole film is just a lot sweeter having already raised kids.
It's a remembrance of a time past. You know, when Lem comes into the community in the very early point and he's with a band and he's traveling band, you know, you don't have traveling bands in that same context. You now have big performances. You don't have that small town flavor, you know, with the corner store. So it really captures, I think, the spirit of that time and that part of American history.
One gun, salute! Fire!
But it's a great story about Scouts. I may have been the only real Boy Scout of all the other actors when we were filming them. And I enjoyed it. It was fun. I looked at it as fun.
I think even today you can sit back and look at this motion picture and see how sensitive and caring the movie is, what a good spirit it has. It really is the essence of what Walt Disney Pictures is all about.